What's up and welcome back to Naptime Builder. We're back with the Jeep today. If you've seen the last video on the Jeep, we got the 18s on there, or well, we got the 18s in, we painted them. We got some tires mounted. The last video I was hoping for my center lug caps to come in. They did not at the time. It was that was a few days late. So they have come in now. About to go ahead and throw them on there because I'm very curious what they're gonna look like. And honestly, at this point, it don't matter what they're gonna look like because we're gonna run them. But we're gonna start off with that and then probably start on some wiring. It's only the second time ever doing it. Hopefully it goes good, you know? We wired the whole church truck. She runs, she got lights and all that, so surely we can do it twice, right? All right, so they look all right. Not as, they kind of come out, the cone on them's a lot bigger than I kind of expected. But they do, at least they do cover up that hub in the front. And they look better than straight up what it was. The little caps that come with it for the lug nuts. You know, oh, there's one undone, or open. Well, first of all, look at that. Lug nuts all the way tightened down, not secure in that. So we'll have to do something about that. And also, these caps, they are not fitting on there. Gonna have to get some different size lug nuts, it looks like. But can you imagine? I mean, it'll look better with all 5 of them on there if I ever actually get it there. Yeah, no. But those things are too expensive not to make them work just right. All right, so here's what we got. This is I've said it before, in case you forgot. This Jeep now is on a 85 Ford Ranger chassis, running gear and everything. This is a 2.0, not the 2.3, but I mean, they look very similar. 2.0 with the 5-speed, of course, because, you know, there's the gear shifter and all. This thing is nasty up under here. I have never done anything to it. I purposely only bought the Ford Ranger for this swap. It ran when I got it, so I didn't even mess with none of this. It sat for a while. I put a carburetor on it and a fuel pump. That's all I've done to it. So all that up under there is nasty. It looks like at some point it's had an oil leak. It probably still does, if we're being honest, okay? So eventually we'll have to get to all the nitty gritty of that. She obviously needs a brake booster there. And all this is headlight wiring that'll come out, of course. That goes up to that jumbled up mess over there. We'll have to, and all this goes to that mess. We'll snip some of these wires long, that way we can tell where they go back to and all that. And all that fun stuff. But I have no idea what some of this is. That says carb. I don't know. Look, this got plugs everywhere that ain't hooked up and all that, so we're about to yank all that out. Long story short, okay? Also, this is the wiring that was on the inside. The only thing I care about any of this is maybe I can get that big old grommet off right there. Other than that, the rest of it's gonna be brand new. So you know, let's start getting some of that out of the way. Well, let's pull our new kit out the box, I guess. Move on back there. You know, it might be smart to actually mount my VIN back on there. This is our kit. Some of it will not be used because it's a lot. It's a lot. So. All right, so here's what this kit looks like. I mean, she's got everything from radio, coil, headlights, door locks, wipers, cigarette lighter, dome, horn, accessories, power windows, hazard, gauges, fuel pump, AC and heat, electric fan, backup and cruise, radio and turn signals, and of course your horn and whatnot there. But I'm pretty sure this is all stuff goes to the dash. Well, obviously, it's a 21 circuit wiring harness. I got off Amazon for like, I think it was right at $100. I think this one might have actually been on sale this time around. It was like $100 for the one that I put on the church truck. But everything. Well, I was gonna say, I can't see no words. Oh yeah, everything's labeled on the wire, like every, was it foot or a couple feet or so, something like that. So that helped me out a whole lot. I have tried one other wiring harness before this. It was a lot cheaper, and that thing was not labeled at all. And half of what the daggum wiring diagram that come with was wrong. So it was pretty ridiculous. But this kit actually worked out really well for me on the church truck. So we're hoping and praying it'll work out good for us now. But since we got that out the box and it looks like everything's there, I guess it's about time to start snipping some wires up under here. All right, so I've been messing around for a little while now. I'm pulling EGR stuff off. This thing had vacuum hoses everywhere. Pulling that mess off. There's a bunch over here that I've thrown over here randomly. Busting up little sensors and stuff just so I can use them as plugs. This right here had a big old block coming off of it, and hose ran around, looping some coolant around. And this one right here also had a connector, or this is the same thing that was in it, but it come off and it had like 4 vacuum lines. Busted that off. It plugs that hole up. Took the EGR thing off there, and I've got to get this pipe that goes all the way around the back side there. Need to get it off right there and figure out some way of plugging that up. I have no idea what this thing is, but that needs to be plugged up better. Obviously not like that. This is the hose that came around to the back of that port I just deleted. That'll have to go. So that's what I'm over here messing with right now. Trying to get as much stuff out of the way as I can before I actually start putting new wires and all that back in. So there's where I'm at. So yeah, told you this thing was nasty. But I didn't figure you wanted to watch me do all that, so we'll catch y'all after some of this. It is still early in the morning. It's like it's not even 6 o'clock yet. I was on call this morning, so I got up like I had to go to work, did a little workout, and then come out here. Luckily, didn't get called into work, so this is what I've been doing. And I'll be doing this until the kids get up. After that, go in, wake them up, homeschool, eat some breakfast, play, because they'll be beating me up all day long, and then we'll eat some lunch and put them down for a nap, and then I'll be back out here throwing some wires in a Jeep. Or, well, probably making some EGR block-off plates to begin with, but then hopefully starting to throw some wires in a Jeep. So we'll catch y'all here in a little bit. And honestly, when the sun starts coming up, I'll probably go ahead and stop because I like sitting out in front of the shop every now and then when the sun comes up. I got a good view, okay? All right, so I got a couple more out. I cut that pipe that was coming around. That's it right yonder. Ooh, a little too much. And it circled around the back and came in this port right here. I got both of those out. That one was the one with a little wood piece in it. But these are both of them. That's the one that had the little hose with the wood piece stuck in it, and that's the one that had that pipe come around to it. I had to cut it to be able to get that out. I couldn't get that off. And honestly, with this in the vise, I still couldn't get that out. It got loose and everything, but it just kept spinning in place. So I tightened it back down. And at that time, we'll just cut that off and weld a little plate on the end of that and do the same there on that one to block those two off. And we'll have to make us a plate right there for where that EGR port thing went. And there's my gasket and the piece of metal I'll be making that out of. So we've made a little progress this morning. I got a lot of stuff out of the way. It's looking a whole lot cleaner. Well, not cleaner, but it's looking a whole lot better up under there with less hoses and all that mess going everywhere that are really unneeded. So nap time, I'll make it plate and cut a couple round pieces or a couple pieces out, weld them two ports up, put them back in. That way those holes are plugged. And that hose right there, I'll have to do away with it. This is the hose that came around to the back of that EGR thing. So we'll have to do something about that. And after we get all that plugged up, it'd be really nice to roll this thing out in front of the shop here and hit that under the hood here with a pressure washer and some degreaser because that mug is nasty. But with that being said, we're done for the morning. We're going outside to sit in front of the shop. So we'll catch y'all later. All right, it's nap time. Here we are. I got out here a few minutes ago. All I've done so far is, where'd it go? Look, I was over here cutting stuff and I done forgot where it went, okay? Where'd it go? Anyways, whatever, okay? I'll show you where it was. There was a little T that came off of this that had that hose that wrapped around over to one of them pieces that I'd cut off this morning. So we just cut her shorter and looped these around. Yes, it looks stupid. It does, I agree. But I don't know another solution at the moment, so that's just how she's gonna be. About to work on my rigging up a little, get my dirty finger out the way, that way you can focus. Rigging up my little plate over there. And then I've got to cut these off and cap them, both of them. That way we can fill these two spots right there. And all that jazz. If I can get them three things knocked out and feel good about them, I would really love to roll this thing out front here and use a little degreaser and a pressure washer on this engine because this mug is nasty up under there. And I feel like this would after I get these plugged up, it'd be the best time to go ahead and knock some of that, however, old grit and grime off there before throwing new wires and everything up under there. So that's the plan. We'll see if it works out, okay? All right, so right here, there's my little plate. She ain't nothing purty, but you know, she's on there. This is them two other spots that got plugged off on that side. And then over here, I had them little small pieces I cut out and welded on the ends of these to close them up and just put them plugs back in. They are not pretty, but it looks a lot better than 2 or 3 more hoses randomly running around that don't really need to be there. I got a couple of small brackets like this right here. Don't have to be on there. I'd like to take that one right there off, but I might have to. You might have to take that pulley off to actually get it off. So that one might have to stay. Put that down there. I might see if I can get it off. And then I'm probably gonna. All right. Well, I just soaked her down with old purple power there. And yeah, I've got it everywhere. It's whatever. Everything's completely nasty. Ooh, showing a little. Oh, this might help some after all. Look at there. But I'm soaking her down, and then here in a minute, I'm gonna go get my pressure washer, hook it up, give this a whoop, give this a few more minutes to soak. I'm sure there's a valve cover gasket or something that's bad. I wonder if that's what all this grime is from or something else. Anyways, let's go get a pressure washer, then we'll take care of that. All right, so obviously, well, let me turn this thing off. Obviously, there's only so much that I can do to her, but that looks a million times better than it did. So that in itself is pretty good. She's still dirty and everything in places, but for the most part, I got a awful lot of grease and grit and everything off of it. She won't be as nasty to try to wire up now, maybe. I guess now I get to see if I can push this thing back in here. All right, so since she's soaked, I did get her pushed back in here though. I'm gonna let her dry and all that. It'll be a couple days before I'm able to get back out here and do anything. I'm on day shift this weekend, starting tomorrow, bright and early. So I have to wipe my paint off. Got my blue dirty. And then, oh man, I'm going to hit that with some touch up. Oh my goodness, that's just horrible. Just horrible. Just horrible. Anyways, like I said, I'm gonna let her dry. It looks a million times better than it did. Check this out. I mean, look at that. You can actually see the surface rust on everything now. Before, it was corroded with grease and metal shavings from when I was cutting and building the firewall. Look at there, look at there, look at there. Million times better. But like I said, I'm gonna give it a couple days. Kids are up from the nap. I'm gonna do a little bit of cleaning for a few minutes, and then I'm done. That's all we get done today. So we'll catch y'all back. Well, it'll probably be about 3 or 4 days. We'll see y'all then. All right, what's up, y'all? Here we are. It's been a few days. Okay, I had to work 3-day shift. It's been a few days. I ain't getting nothing done on day shift. Just let you know, I've told you before, it ain't happening. I ain't trying to get beat up when I get home from work. Okay, when I say, oh, I'm gonna go up to the shop. Anyways, while we was on day shift, I did, right after work one day, I come out, you know, because I pressure washed this thing. I did come out and spray a little paint under the hood. You know, let's try not to dent my hood up. But I did spray a little paint up under here, the inside of the fenders, firewall. Even hit them frame rails down through there. Got everything I could hit up and down through there. She might not be new, but boy, she looking a lot newer. And all that jazz. But looking much better. See if I can get this mug set down. One hand. There we go. Okay, it's just looking good. Get a little glimpse of her. Oh, snap.